Hi, I'm Kim, and I'm Tanner's mom. And Tanner is 8 years old, and he has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and he was diagnosed when he was 4. Duchenne is unfortunately a fatal disease, and typical life expectancy is anywhere from late teens to 20s. It's fairly rare. It's 1 out of every 3,500 male births. Anyway.
So, how has this disease affected his mobility?
A lot. Unfortunately, Tanner is no longer able to walk, and even he's losing strength every day in his core muscles, and then also in his arms and his hands. Tanner's a little more aggressive as Duchenne. Most of the boys are between 10 and 14 before they end up in a wheelchair. Tanner was 7.
Is that when he got his first wheelchair?
No, we actually bought him a push chair off of Craigslist for $50 when he was 5, because he was rapidly getting too big for a stroller, and strollers are for babies.
How old was he when he got his new wheelchair?
He was 7. He hasn't had it too terribly long. He got it in October, so about 6 months.
How is it different than his first wheelchair?
Well, this one's a power wheelchair, and it goes fairly fast. A quick walk speed, about 3 miles an hour, and it can go 16 miles between charges, and his other wheelchair was just a basic pediatric pushchair.
What's your favorite thing about his wheelchair?
That it gives him his independence back, and it actually gives him a level of independence that he's never really been able to experience. So it's awesome.
So, when did you decide that he needed a wheelchair?
Tanner had surgery about a year ago. He had a tendon transfer in one of his legs, and they put the cast on him. He was non-weight bearing for 2 weeks, and then while the cast was on, he was able to kind of hobble around a little bit, but when the cast came off, he was no longer able to walk.
Would he still need a wheelchair if it wasn't for surgery?
For the surgery, what happens with Duchenne is the heel cords tighten, and it causes the feet to either curve in or flex down, I guess. And his foot had curved in a lot, and I think without the surgery he wouldn't have been walking much longer anyway.
How were you able to get the wheelchair?
Tanner gets physical therapy at school, and then he also receives physical therapy on a weekly basis at the actual physical therapy center, and the physical therapists basically handled all of that.
How much did it cost?
We didn't have to pay anything out of pocket because we have insurance and then also Medicaid. Just because of Tanner's medical condition, a lot of his costs associated with his medical care are pretty expensive. If we would have had to pay out of pocket for his chair, it would have been about $40,000. Of course, Medicaid gets a break, so Medicaid didn't actually pay that amount. I don't know what they paid, but it was not $40,000.
How would he get around before his wheelchair?
Well, before his power chair, after he'd stopped walking, he scoots around on his bottom. Before that, he walked really, really slow, and he would get tired really, really quickly.
Can you imagine life without his wheelchair?
I really can't. We had the push chair, and it made things easier, but he still, if he wanted to go look at something, he would say, "Mom, can I go over there?" And we would push him over to see what he wanted to see. With the power chair, he can just go and look at whatever he wants to.
All right, thank you.